Welcome to the LanguageLine InSight video interpreting application, the highest quality audio and video solution to help you easily connect with the world's finest medically trained interpreters. InSight empowers you to provide exceptional care and patient satisfaction to the limited English proficient and the deaf and hard of hearing. Providing language access services is critical in healthcare. Compliance with laws and regulations is essential to avoid penalties and fines. But more importantly, it is simply the right thing to do. Through the intuitive HIPAA-compliant InSight app, you have on-demand access to professional video interpreters for 34 commonly spoken languages, as well as American Sign Language and audio-only interpreters in more than 240 languages.
To assist in letting your patients know that you offer interpreting, prominently display language ID posters and desktop displays in high-traffic areas. The patient can easily identify their preferred language by simply pointing. Once the language need is identified, you're ready to access InSight on your iPad.
InSight requires a one-time authentication when the application is first launched. If LanguageLine provided you with your iPad, the app will already be loaded. If you are using your own iPad, please go to the App Store to download LanguageLine InSight. Once you have the application on your iPad, open the home screen and tap the InSight icon. When the authentication screen appears, enter the authentication code that LanguageLine has provided. Next, enter a descriptive device name. Names typically identify the location, department, or person responsible for the device. This name will appear in reporting and on your invoice. Tap the Activate Device button to complete your one-time authentication.
You are now ready to connect with the LanguageLine interpreter. Make sure you are connected to Wi-Fi. To open the application, simply tap the InSight icon, and the InSight app opens directly to the top languages selection screen. For your convenience, the language order will adjust over time to display the languages you use most often. If you need additional languages, tap All Languages in the left menu to view all 240 options. Or, to search for a language, enter the language name in the upper right search bar. You can also enter the name of a country, and all languages spoken in that country will display. To select a language, tap on the language you desire. To select a video interpreter, tap the orange highlighted button with a video icon. To select an audio interpreter, tap the blue highlighted button with a phone icon.
While audio interpreters are available 24/7, hours of operation for video interpreters vary. To see a complete schedule of availability, click on Help and Settings in the lower left of the screen, then click on Interpreter Availability. After selecting a video interpreter, a self-view image appears, so you adjust the screen for optimum viewing while you are waiting to be connected. Position the screen so the interpreter can see the patient's head and torso, and so the patient can see the interpreter. Make sure the microphone is on and at the highest volume. Once connected, the interpreter will introduce themselves. Write the interpreter's name and ID number in the patient's medical file. For the best interpreting session, introduce yourself and brief the interpreter on the goal of the session. Make every effort to retain control of the call. The interpreter will assist in communication, but you drive the conversation. Speak directly to the patient in short sentences and avoid jargon or complicated terminology. Avoid side conversations or remarks to the interpreter. Keep in mind that whatever you say will be interpreted. Periodically check with the patient for understanding. At the close of the conversation, always ask if there are any other questions or concerns. To end the call, click on the red phone icon at any time.
InSight also offers a convenient notepad feature to make your video session even more effective. The notepad allows the interpreter to type in English or the language being translated during the interpreting session. This is particularly helpful when you are explaining medications, dosages, next steps, or other treatment regimens. Ask the interpreter to bring up the notepad. State what you want the interpreter to type on the screen. For example, ask the interpreter to type the prescription and dosage. Remember to keep your request concise.
InSight has several other control buttons to help manage the video interpreting session. If for any reason the patient requires privacy, you can touch the video icon to disable the interpreter view, then touch again to resume. Just tell the interpreter you are doing so there is no confusion. To mute and unmute the audio, tap on the microphone icon. Again, just tell the interpreter that you are doing so. You can minimize the window in which the patient appears by tapping the minus icon or simply dragging the box to move it. To end the call, touch the red phone icon.
LanguageLine cares about your experience during the interpreting session, and we are always looking for ways to improve. At the end of each InSight session, a How Did We Do screen appears. Tap 1 to 5 stars to rate your experience. 5 is the highest rating. You can also add a brief comment. We value your input and will use this information to develop future enhancements. To share a comment, concern, or other feedback, please complete a Voice of the Customer form at www.languageline.com. If you are experiencing technical difficulties, LanguageLine offers 24/7 365 technical support. Simply call 1-844-373-1951 for help. This number is also located in the Help and Settings for easy reference.
Remember, it's only 3 steps to access a medically trained interpreter. Tap to open the InSight app. Select a language and greet your interpreter. Now that you understand how easy it is to use InSight video interpreting and how to work with an interpreter, you are ready to effectively communicate with the limited English proficient and the deaf and hard of hearing to help deliver outstanding patient care. Thank you for using LanguageLine InSight.